Hey God, may relationship not be damn good in our faces in Jesus' name. God forbid. God forbid. You are the prize. Touch your heart and say, I'm the prize. Let no man talk to you that way. No man should talk to you that way in Jesus' name, because what's that disrespect? Guys, welcome back to BBN Updates on Gusto TV. Yeah, today's Wednesday, and I'm here to give you the gist of everything that has been happening. If you're following me, you know that I always drop it as it's hot, but yep, regardless, I'm here and we're going to talk. We are going to have a conversation. We are going to gist, basically. So yeah, a fight happened between Bella and Chichi, the head of house. Remember that Chichi is the head of house. She knows she won the head of house, and then she had the veto power to pick about 2 persons that will stay with her in the finals, and then she picked Phyna and Daniela, and they're in the house with her. Everybody's in the house, and then the rest of the housemates are up for eviction. So you know, they had their like meeting. You know, they have to like sit and prepare for their Ouija tax now, have a conversation. Oh, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? So like the whole thing they come up with the idea of, you know, trying to like create like a drama and sing, like they're fusing drama and singing together, like past housemates, including past housemates' name or something. That's basically what they've been working on. But it's almost like that yesterday being Tuesday, yeah, it's almost like Chichi was really frustrated. Like, it's like pressure of being the head of house was creeping up on her like slowly, and it was eating her. And I'm like, okay, why is she feeling this pressured? Her assistant Cheesy is there, he's available, so what's happening? And Cheesy is actually trying, but he's not the head of, you don't expect him to always like put himself out there. He's basically just going to support you. That's the most he could do. And you know, she was holding a meeting, and then Bella was having a conversation. So she gets angry, she confronts Bella, and she's like, oh Bella, I'm talking, you are talking, you can wait for your conversation can wait until after the meeting is done. And then Bella charges. Bella is like, who are you to talk to me? Are you stupid? You are very, very stupid. Who are you to talk to me? Don't you ever speak to me like that? And Chichi is like, I'm talking and you are talking. We are having a meeting and you are talking. You know, both of them kept going like back and forth, back and forth. I will not even lie. I won't even lie. Who won the fight? Bella did. Bella actually won that fight. That's the honest truth. If I be very hard, Bella won that fight, because Bella is a very vicious woman. Like, she will come for you head on. But you see the thing, I feel like Bella is very rude. And then surprisingly, yeah, that yesterday, normally Chichi, you know the kind of person Chichi is also very somebody that likes to like come for you, even though to an extent she sort of like slowed down after her punishments. But eventually big brother gave her like the go ahead to see when you need to react, do react. And then ever since then, she was like, oh, that now she started like, if you come for her, she'll come for you. Anything you do to her, she's going to react back the way she should. So yesterday, when, you know, she was just like, Bella, I'm talking, you know, she was just basically like, I was just like, no, this is not the Chichi I used to know in the beginning. Like, something is wrong. Do you get me? If you watch that fight, you just know that it felt like Chichi was being subdued. And personally, I feel like the reason why Chichi is being subdued is because in her head, she feels like there's a gang up against her in the, and she has said it countless times, not just feeling, she feels it, but she has said this a lot of times, like to people that care to hear or care to listen, that, oh, that there's a gang up against her in the house, that the housemates don't like her, she's the most hated housemate this season. She has said a lot of that. Anyway, in her defense, me, I don't really think there's a gang up. I just feel like if you happen to be the person people don't fuck with at that moment, the housemates will all come for you, probably be nominating you. I mean, we've seen it with Hermes, we've seen it with Cheesy, we've seen it with Rachel. Is even if you ask me who somebody people really don't like, I'll probably even say Rachel. But regardless, see, like, it's a game. They might come out of the house and they would even eventually be close. So, you know, they had their fight back and forth, and then trust Sheggz, Mr. Ikoyi, to always be in the equation of women's fights. Trust Sheggz to not mind his business. He did, like, he showed us the reason why he's called Sheggz. He did. You know, he's walking up to Chichi's front to go and confront Chichi. And Chichi's like, you know, it's just because I fuck with you hard, this one, that one. I'm like, you fuck with her hard. What's Chichi's like, see, this is women's fight. Like, just stay out of it. Stay out of it. And he's like, I fuck with you hard, but don't do that. Don't do. And I'm like, you need to learn how to, like, you need to learn when to sit one out. Like, sit this one out. Calm down. It doesn't concern you. It's not your business. And then in the whole back and forth, Phyna was just sitting at the edge of the head of house seats and not saying anything. And then I'm like, is Chichi not supposed to be your friend? Are you supposed to be defending her at this point? I know Chichi got angry and then she walked out. Bella got angry and she walked out. That was how the meeting ended. Then Phyna and Chichi are on the bed outside. Sheggz is working with Chichi like outside and trying to talk to her. Then Phyna was not even like trying to reason with Chichi, and she was just like shouting Chichi's name. See, like I just feel like Phyna was just being, she was not standing with somebody. She was trying to be on this person's good books. That's Bella and Sheggz. And then she was trying to be on Chichi's good books. Like she did not know what she wants. Eventually Daniela came to speak to Chichi, and she told her, see, this is how you should do this. Let's say you fucked up, they also fucked up, you should go and apologize to the housemates, then put out your rules and regulations for them. It's your tenure. Anyhow you want to control this house, it is left for you to control it. You are in charge, and you have to act like you are in charge. Let them respect you. And she said a lot of things to Chichi, and then it all made sense. Like I was just like, yes, this is how it should be. This is exactly what somebody needs to tell you, so that you know how to handle your game and put it out to these people. Because every other head of house we've had, they've always tried to do things their way. We've seen Adekunle, Hermes, Phyna, everybody has always tried to do things their way. So I don't see any reason why you should be feeling subdued or attacked, or you can't talk, because it doesn't make sense. And then you just go around and be complaining to Phyna and Groovy. They're the only people that care to hear. It was just very, 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 very tiring to see, and I'm just like, you can do better. Like, you can actually do better. I get that you're frustrated, but you don't necessarily have to transfer aggression. But you see, from Bella's side, I feel like Bella was properly rude. Like, she was outrightly rude and disrespectful. And Bella has a thing for disrespecting the head of house, whoever the head of house is at the moment. She does that a lot. Just when I thought that whole thing, like that whole situation was just the only fight we're probably going to like see this week, eventually she has the fight with her man Sheggz in the night. Apparently Sheggz was trying to play with her, carry her, and before that she was like, oh babe, I'm not putting on panties, you're going to like naked me in front of people. And he's like, oh, don't worry, I got you, I'm going to be careful, that kind of thing. She's like, oh babe, leave me alone, stop, drop me down. She was saying it jokingly. She was actually saying it like jokingly. I don't know if Sheggz thought, okay, she's not serious, let me carry her. And he did carried her to the bed. Somebody that feels like, okay, I don't like the way you're carrying me, should have probably like shouted, hit him. I don't know, you would have done something. But I feel like she was taking it well. He took her into the room, and then she's changing it for him that, see, I don't like this. I told you, don't carry me. I told you I wasn't putting on panties, and you are carrying me, and Brian saw my nakedness. I don't like that kind of thing. She was very angry. And then the next thing, Sheggz is like, oh, you're so rude, you don't know how to talk to people, everybody knows you're so rude, this one, that one. From where to where? And then I'm just like, see, Sheggz, you have a problem. She actually told you, don't carry me, leave me alone, let me be. But then Bella, so you have a problem, because if you meant it, they say it like you mean it. Okay, Sheggz, she's rude. It's not that she's rude to you that you believe she's rude. When she's rude to other people, you'll be defending her. You'll not tell her she's rude, or she should calm down, or she should avoid situations like that. When it reaches your turn, she's rude. They keep having the arguments. Then Bella stands up and she walks into the other room. She's annoyed. There are others in the other room, and then Chizzy was there. Chizzy was like trying to like sort out the whole situation for them. He got angry. He came in, like Sheggz got angry, came into the room, and he's like, yeah, I'm talking to you, you're walking out. Oh, let me remind you that while she was even walking out of the room they were both in at that moment, he was like, as you're walking out from this relationship, if you walk out of this room, I'm going to dead this relationship. It's done. I swear on my mother. In my head, I'm like, hey God, may relationship not be damn good in our faces in Jesus' name. God forbid. You are the prize. Touch your heart and say, I'm the prize. Let no man talk to you that way. No man should talk to you that way in Jesus' name, because what's that disrespect? You are swearing on your mother. Is it necessary? Was that necessary? And they get into the other room where she eventually goes to like find a bed to lie down on, and he comes in there and he's shouting at her, you're so rude. How are you having an issue with your supposed partner, and then you're embarrassing them in front of other people? Is that how to do things? You want to tell the person, okay, you shouldn't have done this, or you bring the person out or go to the person and quietly have a conversation. You did not need to shout. And he was really making noise and drawing attention. And the other of the housemates were like, oh, what's going on? What happened? And then Chizzy like tried to salvage the situation. He was like he told Bella, see, go after him, go and like talk to him, tell him you're sorry, which she actually did. In my head, I'm like, the fuck? What? You actually like dusted your two legs put your leg inside slippers and walked to go and be pressing him and touching his eyebrows and his beard and telling him, I'm sorry, big Sheggz, big Sheggz, big Sheggz, I'm sorry. Like, she kept on saying this, I'm sorry, for a while. Hey, God, I beg. God forbid. That's all I have to say regarding that. Moving on. So today, eventually they held a meeting again. You know, the head of house held a meeting because, see, like, my niggas are trying so hard to win this wager. Even though I feel like food will not be an issue anymore because, like, a lot of housemates have left. And a lot will eventually be leaving. Like, I believe like 4 persons will be leaving this Sunday. And I can't even wait to see people that will be leaving because I don't even know who to assume. I don't even want to guess for anybody. But I'm looking forward to Sunday. I will not even lie. So they had a meeting now where they are like trying to, like, you know, plan for their wager task and everything. And then Chizzy takes control of the meeting and he addresses the housemate. He's like, you see that thing, that situation that happened yesterday? This meeting was happening earlier this afternoon. And then he was addressing the issue that happened yesterday, like the disrespect. He was like, oh, the disrespect to the head of house was very, very inappropriate, that they should not have done such a thing. She's in control, so anything she says should be done. And you know, he kept going on and on and on about how they should respect her, they should respect her authority, and how they should stop looking down on her. And you know, they were having a conversation. And he was actually making a lot of sense. I won't even lie. Like, at that point, he was just seeming like he was the head of house, because he actually handled like the housemates very well. I was just like, if only this guy was a real housemate, or if only this guy had won the head of house title or something, he would really handle the house well, because he's actually a no-nonsense person, to be honest, and he's actually a very true person at the same time. So you know, he spoke for minutes. He was talking, and then everybody was seriously paying attention. Like, everybody was seriously paying attention and listening to him. He even like called out Rachel for, I think Rachel she probably stood up to go and do something like that yesterday, or she was also disrespectful. She was, because while the whole thing was happening, she was finding the whole situation amusing. What was making her laugh, I don't know, but I think she was just happy with the whole, okay, this is Chichi they are picking on, or this is Chichi that is having a fight and she's here for it, or that kind of thing. So, you know, he called her out and told her that what she did was not proper and all of that. And she didn't say anything. She was actually quiet. Everybody was quiet throughout the meeting. Then this afternoon, while they were all in the kitchen, I don't even know, I think Chizzy was trying to talk to her. He was trying to tell her something. And then the next thing, she starts raking. She's like, that thing you said in the meeting to me, that she should never try it. Don't ever try it again. As if I was the only one that stood up to go and do something. When Phyna was spending her time in the dressing room, did you say anything to her? When it's Rachel, you know how to run your mouth. When it's Rachel, you know how to talk. And I'm just like, are you looking for a fight or something? Like, do you just want unnecessary trouble? Like, this meeting has ended. When he said it, why didn't you confront him and tell him, okay, when Phyna said blah blah blah, okay, when this person blah blah blah, you did not. But now you are still, the hate is still inside your heart. Now you know how to voice out. So anything that rocks your boat be doing. But yeah, that's everything that's happened so far until today. The housemates are currently working hard on their wager. And me personally, I don't see them winning this wager. I know you think I always say this, but the effort is not given. I don't even know if it's because the housemates don't feel connected, or there's unnecessary like fights going on and on, but that's their problem. But let's see how it goes. On Friday, we're going to have our live stream. We were going to watch the housemates like perform, like display their wager, whatever they've been able to come up with, and I want you guys to watch it with me. Let's have a conversation, let's watch it together, let's talk about the housemates and what we think and every other thing that's going to happen before then. So up until then, I'm going to see you guys, but don't forget to subscribe, like, and check out our other videos. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.